Hi, I am David Ezekiel, transitional minister for the First Federated Church of Peoria. Welcome to our midweek moment. The writer of the New Testament book of Hebrews states, "Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together." Let me illustrate what that means for us today. I generally do not strike up conversations with strangers when I am in airports and or on airplanes. Mostly it is because I do not want people to know that I am a minister. It's not because I'm ashamed of my profession. I'm actually quite proud of it. I really just do not want to engage in a conversation with someone who discovers that I am a minister and then wants to explain to me that he or she is spiritual but not religious. They tell me that they find God all around them in nature, so they do not feel the need to go to church. As my friend Lillian Daniel has observed, such a person will always share this as if it's some kind of daring insight that is totally unique to him, bold in its rebellion against the religious status quo. I'm glad that these persons have the rudimentary elements of belief and faith, and I'm glad they desire to experience the wonderments of God's creation. What concerns me is that these persons are trying to explore the deep questions alone. Having deep thoughts is easy. The hard part is exploring those questions in the context of community where your presuppositions and biases might be challenged. I agree that there are many things that are wrong with the church, and I can tell you some stories, and so can you. I know the church is not perfect, but then again, neither am I. I may not like today's sermon or the choice of hymns, but then it's not all about me. Going to church is really about connecting with one another and together connecting with the Holy One. I go to church because there are others who are reading the scriptures and seeking where it intersects with their lives. Then we share our experiences and teach one another. I go to church because I want to be in conversation with those who are trying to understand the world around them, the world seen and unseen. I go to learn from them and their insights as I struggle with and navigate the vagaries and vicissitudes of life. I go to church to hear their stories of triumphs and celebrate their joys. I go to church where a community of persons will hold you when you cry and comfort you during your loss. I go because someone is concerned when I am sick. I go because I am loved. I go to church where I can dig deeply into a faith tradition that has sustained countless persons through the ages and learn that it will also sustain me too. I go to church because that is where lives and values are established, shaped, and nurtured. I go to church to be reminded that there is forgiveness when I fall short of God's expectations. I go to be reminded that I am not my own universe, that my actions may affect others in negative ways, that I need their forgiveness, and that they will give it to me with an amazing grace. I go to church because I do see God in nature, the creation, the stars, the sunset. And I learned that there is more to the universe than just me, and that there is a purpose for it all. I go because I learned there is a purpose for my life too. The Psalms have been telling that for over 3 millennia. I go to church because religious experience is more than just a feeling. It is a connection. I go to church because the Bible teaches me that prayer is not a psychological experience, that prayer is a personal transaction with someone. Walter Brueggemann taught us, this is why you cannot worship God on the golf course. You have to worship in the arena of rhetoric, in dialogue, because if you do not, you wander into a universal monologue, or worse, into chaos. Alone, you become full of yourself. Together, You learn the creator of the universe is speaking to all of us. I go to church because there's someone greater than I am, who is the great I am, and give my thanks and appreciation for all these things and more. I go to church because it helps me to find the me, the authentic self I was meant to be from the very foundations of creation. I go to church because I want to experience that life and have it more abundantly. Going to church is an effort, but it is worth it. When I go to church, I have often managed to find the spiritual and religious crowd. These are the people that I want to talk to and pray with. Speaking of prayer, allow me to offer this one. Lord, thank you for teaching us to gather as a community of faith. That is where you seem to show up most. Alone, I may feel your presence, but together we will experience you. And that is what we all are really yearning for, that personal encounter with the Holy One, with you. Amen. I'm David Ezekiel. Thank you for sharing this midweek moment with me today.